know the book, so that's good.
Yikes.
I had a buyer consult yesterday, and I was like,
Is it going to be the next book for a
Book club?
I love that. I already have it.
One would think. Welcome back. What's up, guys? It's Mike Frank, Heather, Kelley, Miss Kelley, Miss Heather Kelley, and Andrea Soto on the podcast today. All three of us. Kind of wild.
Good morning.
Welcome. What's up, girls?
Hi.
Not much. Living the dream. Talking
about our new book for book club.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
That only Heather knows how to pronounce.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that hard. So if you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, it's a great one. And we're talking about his predictions today.
So one thing that's interesting is what's going on in the world as far as these kind of people are making real estate predictions, right? Because was anybody there? Were you there for the presentation? I think it was just Liv and I at Summit where the CEO of Keeping Current Matters came out and sat down and said, hey, so I talked to the CEO of Zillow and I asked him what's going to happen. Yeah. I talked to the CEO of Bank of America and I asked him what's going to happen. I talked to this person and that person, financial strategist, blah, 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 blah. And they all said, we don't know, right? Like nobody really knows what's going to happen in the turn of 2024, what's going on in the market. And it's so interesting to see other people's perspectives, people that we've looked up to, whether it's big mega investor or someone that wrote a really great book. And to start with somebody like Robert Kiyosaki. There you go. Who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, his prediction on the real estate market and what's going to be happening in the next 12 and 24 months. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild to think about.
I mean, I think that's why I thought it was valuable when we were talking to Ryan and we were seeing those predictions for interest rates in 2025. And afterwards, he was like, yeah, well, these are the people that are making the decisions about these interest rates that are giving us the predictions. It's not an outside source or Tom Ferry or whoever it may be.
But it's no more expected than anything else, right? Because even at the end of that call, somebody said, I think it was you, said how realistic exists or whatever we said. And Ryan said, oh, like 50-50. 50% chance, 50% chance we're wrong, right? And it's wild. But to talk about things like ways to get rich in real estate, ways to invest in real estate, and have these same people now talking about maybe we should pull back from Airbnb, maybe we should drive up Airbnb in other ways. And I think that's the biggest thing that people need to hear is they need to hear, how can I make my current real estate portfolio profitable without going out and buying some monstrosity, right? Even in your house hunt, right? Your parents are looking for something that they can make as a good investment, but they're no longer looking for like the 4-unit multifamily dwelling that everyone is searching for because it's so hard to make that profitable. The big thing that I took away from this was if you apply an investment strategy to your current market condition, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But if you apply an investment strategy to your current portfolio, you can find ways to make it work. And that's the interesting thing, right? Your parents are going to buy another house.
Yes.
Multifamily or single family, maybe.
Probably single family because we want to meet our goal, and it's already end of October.
Right.
So.
But by doing so, you're buying a primary residence, and then you guys are renting your current home, right? Isn't that right there like reverse house hacking?
Yeah.
Right. See, I hate the words, but and it's just interesting to talk about these people and their prophecies as they think the market, is going to be making change because the profitability of investing in Airbnb today is just down.
Yeah.
So
I feel like what we're doing is, kind of looking at what we already have and, analyzing that. And although we're trying to, buy another house, it's making sacrifices to work with what we have and make more of it rather than have this, idolizing scenario where you're like, man, I really want that. I want to work for it. But it's how long are you going to work for that same thing that you've been working for 3 months when you could have done it a month ago if you sacrificed one thing?
Yeah.
I love it.
How much of that do you think is cracking down on like regulations and stuff of short-term rentals?
I don't even know. To be honest with you, like, there are 3 types of people: early adopters, late adopters, and your average human being, right? Early adopters got in early And it doesn't matter what the crackdown happens, right? Like they don't care. They bought 4 years ago before Airbnb was a thing.
Much.
Even their numbers are grandfathered in, right? Think about it this way. If you bought a 2-bedroom condo and your monthly payment's 17 something and you're getting a net profitability of like, I don't know, $4,400 on your condo, but then the market changes or the limitations change or the new buyers can't buy in that community, they don't even care. The early adopter, it literally doesn't even matter. The next wave, the people that were like the common buyer, the person that's willing to follow the trend once they see that it's going to stick, that person's probably like a little worried about their investment, but they're not losing. It's the people that are late to the party. People that are looking at Airbnb multifamily investment that are like coming out and saying, but I can't make this profitable. Well, no shit. Right? Like, no shit, you can't make it profitable because of the crackdowns, because of the other things, because of the interest rates or whatever your outside influence is. No shit, you can't make it profitable. But it doesn't mean that you can't make it profitable by looking at it from a different perspective. Yeah. You had mentioned your goal. So it's your family. Is it like a goal that they put for this year? Your mom and dad wanted to buy another property?
We wanted to have at least one rental by the end of the year.
Okay.
Like rent it out like someone is.
Okay. You know. So your parents were going to buy property to rent out. It's just twisted a little bit to say, hey, now we're going to buy a primary and then we're going to rent this, our previous residence. Yeah. Do you know what interest rate they have on their previous residence?
Oh, well, they did refinance. I think it was like 2016.
So 3 point nothing.
Yeah, probably
right?
like 3 or 4.
Yeah, and they can't get that today.
Yeah.
Right. So think of it in that way. If you were going to buy a property in 2023, you're the early adopter you were going to own a property in 2023. You're the early adopter that did it in 2016. You're the latecomer to the party that did it in COVID time, right? And now you have the late adopters that are like, shoot, now it's my last chance. So outside influences don't really matter. It's like, it's a factor, but it's a hurdle. How are you going to make it work? I mean, even as we look at it, it's like, look, the interest rate today is awful, but it doesn't accomplish our family goal to stay in our current house. We either bite the bullet and move forward, or we stay stagnant where we are today. And nobody wants that.
Yeah. You're paying monthly regardless.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're paying monthly, whether it's a financial, like you're actually paying, or you're costing yourself monthly, depending on how you look at it. And it's just interesting when you talk about these people, these authors that have written books on investment portfolio and developing multifamily rentals. It's so interesting to see their perspective as things slow down in the market. And now looking at what do you have, right? Your family has a property. What can you leverage to get yourself to the next place? And it's the same thing that Ryan's been talking to you guys about for 2 years about you could buy a property today. It's just a matter of, do you like the terms, you know, like, why didn't you buy a property last year?
Myself or like my family?
Sure.
I guess income.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you could have gotten something, just really, really bad rates.
I could, anyone
exactly
can get anything.
I mean, like if somebody approached somebody, like any buyer today and said, hey, I'll give you a loan, but it's going to be 12.5%.
Right.
Who's going to say yes?
Investors.
maybe. And many of them are going to say no.
Yeah.
But like, let's just say 2 years ago, interest rates were what?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like 3.
4, yeah.
3, 4, something like that. Somebody comes to you, Dre, and says, hey, I'm going to help you buy a property. You're going to finance it. I'm going to help you write it out. It's going to be 9%. What would you say?
Fuck ass no.
Fuck no. And now today, like 9% is like not that bad. For a primary owner occupant, you know, you've got good investment people that are getting in the 6s, median people that are getting in the 7s, and bad, you know, credit scores or maybe not so favorable rates are in the low 8s. And now you're looking at, well, 9%, that's not that bad. But yet when the interest rate was 3%, we're like, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Well, at that logic, you would have been an early adopter had you done it back then. You know, had you done it earlier this year and the interest rate was like, let's say 9.5%, you would have just been like late to the party. But now that same loan would be 10 or 11% because of where the interest rates have gone. But it doesn't change who you are.
Yeah.
It's about looking at your current portfolio and figuring out how can you make it profitable without going out and spending money, without going out and investing a huge lump sum into something that's super, super risky. And what about those people that are just sitting on equity? Like, I think of ourselves like that. We have this property, interest rate is whatever, 3s. And why are we sitting on it? Is it because we're too afraid to go out and leverage ourselves? Is it because we can't find the next thing, or because we can't come to the mental state to accept the reality that multifamily property is not going to happen for your parents? You know what I mean?
Right.
The goal of buying
Not
a
this
house
year.
this year is way more valuable.
Right.
And they could buy a multifamily next year or the year after.
Or I can.
Or you can. Or you both could.
Both could.
If the market proves it.
That's the plan.
I mean, and that's what I think these people are talking about, right? If you look at buying an Airbnb today, the cost of that is going to be so great that you're not even going to be able to be profitable by the time you pay for your overcoming expenses. So your condo fees, your maintenance fees, your expenses, like, you know, repairs and cleaning and things like that, plus management, and then your monthly payment, you're just basically breaking even. But if you turn around and you say, hey, I'm just going to break even for a while until I become profitable, that's how everyone in the world becomes profitable.
And I think that's like the biggest thing with like investors. And I think getting my mom to have that kind of mentality of, you're not gonna, like, in order for you to make money the moment that you purchase, like, that's hard. Like, it's, you have to find a gem and like know some fucking people.
Okay.
You know, like, it's like, it just has to be the best scenario ever to be that, unless, I don't know, you have some type of agreement with the seller that you're gonna buy the property with for a lot lower than what its value is, so you automatically walk into equity, you know.
Right.
Like, unless you have that perfect scenario or something like it, like, it's really hard for you to make money in an investment standpoint immediately.
Right.
So it's like having that longevity of like, look, breaking even is not losing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gonna grow.
The best example that I can think of is my old boss at the restaurant bought a property that needed a ton of work, spent a ton of money, and then years later, they love going there. They post pictures, they enjoy the opportunity to, you know, have vacation. And I said to him, like, hey, how profitable is this place? And he's like, dude, it'd be super profitable if we didn't go there 5 times a year. You know what I mean? Like, super profitable if we didn't go 5 times a year. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Well, fast forward a couple months and, hey, how's it going? You know, have you guys been down to the property lately? He's like, yeah. I said, have you ever thought about buying another? He says, actually, kind of funny. You know, next door neighbor, blah, 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 XYZ. We just went under contract with the next door neighbor. All right. So where we're going with this is zero profitability in the immediacy because we have rental, or I'm sorry, we have renovations. Then zero profitability in the medium run because we're using it as our primary. So we cost all of our profitability. Then we open a door that wouldn't have otherwise been opened if we didn't invest in this portfolio. We're going to now buy another property side by side. We're going to use that as our primary vacation home. Now this one becomes 5 more weeks profitable, which I'm sure in that kind of a property is like 30, 40 grand, $30,000-$40,000 a year that he can use to pay his primary right next door. And the only reason that even comes available is because your mom realizes that, hey, becoming net cash flow positive is very, very tough in today's market.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you can't diversify your portfolio in that way to develop that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can work to become more skillful, but you can't work to become more lucky. You have to work at being more lucky to become more lucky, and then you become skillful in the process. It's kind of an oxymoron, but at the same time, if you don't have it, you don't acknowledge it, and you can't like further your portfolio without it.
Yeah, 100% perspective.
I mean, how many people were we talking to a year ago today that were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna buy and now like,
I wish you looked more.
I mean, like, bro, if you had bought 1 year ago today, I can't even imagine the financial place that you're in, the emotional place that you're in. Yeah, but she's still focused on doing it.
Yeah.
Most of these people are like, screw it. Screw it.
Like, the mental capacity is not there for them.
Yeah. The person I'm thinking of is one of our clients, Billy Lehman, who chose not to buy. Then when he got serious about buying, it was earlier this year. And then it was just like, and something bad happened, car accident, whatever the situation was. And now he doesn't have the cash flow to buy. Well, the interest rates are going bad. And it's like, it all mounts up, but it only mounts up because of your own mentality. What if the mentality 1 year ago today was, I won't be profitable in the immediacy. I'm going to make it worthwhile in the long run. I'm going to buy a property for me today. In the future, I'm going to leverage that as a rental portfolio, and I'm going to build myself a little happy little portfolio based on buying primary property rather than getting good cash flow.
Yep.
And for anybody that's like listening.
And I feel like that's the same mentality of making renters into buyers.
Yeah.
Like that longevity of, yes, it's going to take time. Yes, it takes effort. Yes, it takes sacrifice. But in that sacrifice, like you will triumph.
And at our last home buyer event, we had a lot of people there. It was a really great kind of a round table conversation, which has never really happened before. Pretty cool experience to be a part of that when people were talking about the negatives of buying. And it was like, we're sitting in a room full of people that are supposed to be learning about home buying. And they're sitting there talking about the negative one and negative two and the impact. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
But it's like, what a mindset. What a mindset to just be like, oh, I'll just play the devil's advocate. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I hear you, but you're here, which tells me that you're playing the devil's advocate on yourself. The mindset of, well, the interest rates are going to go bad. Well, but the interest rates are going to get better eventually. I mean, what if you bought a property in 1990? Shout out to anybody that did that, right? You bought a property in 1990 and you created an opportunity for yourself to buy it like 15, 17% interest rate. Do you think that person was like, oh, the interest rates are bad? I can't even imagine. Like, I can't even fathom that thought process. To me, it's just like, well, the interest rates are what the interest rates are going to be. And if I bought a property in 1990, I'd be a lot richer than if I bought a property today.
Thank you.
Bless you. You know, the opportunity is present. And I just think of it like it's a diversification of where our money is going, right? Like that coffee cup. What did that cost? Was it free with purchase of coffee?
It was free in general.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it a hand-me-down free or was it like a giveaway free?
Hand-me-down.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Because they literally are free. Yeah. Like free.com. There's zero cost to it. Not like I had to buy. It's so funny. You're drinking it from a Starbucks mug too. Not like I had to buy a Starbucks cup to get this cup. I just got it as a hand-me-down. And then I use it pridefully and I make it a part of my decor and my life and who I am, but it doesn't cost me $5 a day. And that's the sacrifice that you were talking about before.
Yeah.
But diversification, right? Like where are people diversifying in their portfolio to build future rental that they're not today?
Yeah. I feel like people just spend a lot more money on things, you know?
For sure.
They're more of like a lot of, fuck it type situations.
Totally agree. I mean, I talk with some of my clients.
On personal reasons.
I think we're all culprit of it.
Yeah.
I talk with some of my clients, especially those that are coming from non-American upbringing, just from whatever they were brought up in. There's a different sense of, I'm going to make up a word, but I don't know if it's real. Frugality, like to be frugal. Is that a word? It's probably not. I'm really good at making up words.
I mean, I don't know if it's a word, but I would assume it could be because frugal and
frugality is a word.
It is?
Yes.
Look at me go. Hey, there you go. Didn't even make it up. But like, it's a different perspective. It's the perspective of, I wouldn't even be caught with that mug. I wouldn't even be caught with the idea that I had to buy it. I would scrape together what I needed to clean out a paper cup so that I could, you know what I mean? Like that's the mentality. And it's just a totally different mentality from the upbringing that we had.
Yeah.
We had the upbringing that was like, oh, craft mac and cheese, obviously. Not like make the pasta and figure out how to get the cheese and mix it all together to make this delicious tasting thing. It was like, go to the store and you buy it.
Right.
And then it was, oh, well, I mean, my pot is scratched, so I'm going to, buy a new one. Instead of repairing it, cleaning it, taking care of it, we have this mentality of just like buying it.
Throw it away and get a new one.
Yeah.
It's a microwave society.
And this is why divorce
Microwave
rates are up,
society.
y'all.
Yikes. Yikes.
Because y'all
Womp,
just don't
womp,
want to do the
womp.
fucking work.
Oh my God. But I do think that applies to real estate as well, because the concept of, as one of my friends texts me right now, right? The concept of going to that concert that they wanted to go to. Well, I mean, what was that? Oh, it was a birthday present. Well, I thought you guys were just said, oh, that was a Thanksgiving present. Oh, I thought, but didn't you guys go to, oh, that was a New Year's concert. It's like, well, where's the priority of like your birthday present is your New Year's concert? Like, where's the priority of I can go out for Halloween and dress up and party with my friends, but I don't need to be the person that goes into the bar and, you know, buys rounds of shots and does all this other stuff. Like, where's the mentality of I can, you know, make a PB&J, have it sitting in the fridge waiting for me so I don't go and buy pizza at, 3:00 in the morning. Not saying that I was ever that person, because I wasn't. I'm always definitely used to make popcorn with whatever the fuck I could put on it, because that was all I had. Like popcorn with hot sauce, popcorn with pesto sauce. Like it was like popcorn
Pesto
pasta.
sauce.
It's so funny you
Literally?
said PB&J, because I used to have one every time I went out on Thursday. Every single day. I would look at my chef as I was leaving. I was like, can I get a PB&J? Thank you so much, Ian. I'm not even kidding.
That's lit. But it's like, that's the affordable
Never threw
option.
up.
I never understood the people that I worked with at restaurants that would order the steak.
Yeah.
And I don't care that it's half price, like $34 down to $17. I don't care. I'm ordering something that's not $17.
Yeah.
That's just like my mentality.
Yeah.
And I mean, goodness knows that it's not my brother's mentality, and that's why we're different. Truth. And we're born and raised in the same family and everything else. I don't know why we're different, but that's the mentality that people need to start applying to real estate, is like, can I suffer for a while I save to create an opportunity? Or a different way of thinking, if I'm going to go on vacation, can I make my primary residence into an Airbnb to make subordinate income? And then people go, oh, no, that's my house. No, I couldn't have people. I mean, I got my stuff, my TV. Oh, I mean, why is it any more special? Like, just secure your shit. This is what we're talking about. Like, how you make real estate profitable in today's world is by coming up with these ideas.
Yep.
By not ordering steak, by making food at home, by saving in ways that you couldn't save otherwise. I mean, go through, just cancel all your credit cards. Just cancel them all. Because I bet you 90% of the shit that's on your recurring revenue from your credit cards is bullshit that you don't need. Do you have Netflix, Hulu, Prime?
We have Prime as a family.
Who pays for it?
All of us.
Do you pay for it?
No, all of us.
Nah, who pays for it?
My mom.
Aha! How about you?
I only have Netflix.
Bang.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
I have Spotify
But
too,
I
though.
totally do that. I totally do that. John pays for Prime.
Yeah.
Amanda pays for Netflix. My brother pays for Netflix. My brother pays for Hulu. And I just like use their account. And I'm not saying, oh, great, go use other people's accounts. But what I am saying is, like, if you don't need it, don't buy it.
Right.
So I don't need it.
Oh, I pay for HBO too. I forgot about that.
I mean, you got to pay for something. But like, we recently cut out cable because I realized that I was wasting $75 or $85 a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I miss watching ESPN every morning? Yes.
Dang.
But like,
That's how much it is a month
yeah.
for cable?
And I'm cheap. Like, I think most people would be like $300, $400.
You're lying.
I swear to God.
Oh my God. I don't really watch TV like that.
That's
Like,
what I mean.
It's not something that I really do.
That's what I mean.
Unless
I don't need it.
unless it's like a Sunday and I'm like, "Ugh, I want to watch a movie, but like in my house, I don't really watch TV.
I literally said to Amanda 2 days ago, I said, I think if you really looked at it, I would be willing to bet that we spend $100 a day.
On
Do you
just
spend
life?
$100 a day?
On just like life, if you like divided everything
Nah,
you do?
not like your house, your car, your whatever. But like when you go out and you get a coffee, that's
like
$6,
my
$7.
average in
Yeah.
my life.
I mean, with gas
I mean,
65 for a full tank, fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm not looking at that.
Like life expenses.
I'm looking at coffee, clothing, shoes, Stuff that you don't need.
I would say
but you want.
my biggest expense is like food, like when I go out with my friends, like,
Right.
you know, so it's like maybe let's say if I go out twice a week, right? Twice a week, let's say I spend $100. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you divide that.
Yeah, but that's $200 plus how much are you spending on coffee, how much are you spending on new clothing, how much are you spending on Amazon, how much you spend. And I'm saying like some of it is needed, some of it is purposeful, and I get that. But I think that when you look at it, think about this, right? Could we just say that you spend $30 a day?
Yeah.
I think if we really dug into it, you'd probably spend more than $30 a day. Have you ever thought about what $30 a day really represents?
Yeah, it's like fucking Dunkin' in the morning and like something else probably that you bought online
and
on your way home.
$30 a day is definitely 10, 12, 13 grand a year. You know what I mean? So for us, we're looking at $100 a day. Now there's two of us and I get that, but like it's $100 a day on dumb shit. Like we don't need to go get Mexican for dinner and spend $56. Like we don't need that.
Yeah, you can just call me over. I'll cook.
I mean, or we could just fucking make mac and cheese. Like these are the choices that we don't make. But think about it, like seriously, because we got so accustomed to mac and cheese being like the bottom of the barrel. That's the worst of the worst of the worst. And the reality is that that's actually fucking expensive.
Yeah.
We have lentils, we have macaroni, we have 17 different types of pasta in the pantry that cost $1 a pound. We don't need a package of mac and cheese for $3.44. We could make a whole ass dinner for $3.
I love making garlic butter noodles.
Yeah.
So good.
But like if you really, really digested it and you looked at it, we don't need to spend $100 a day. We're spending dumb shit and forget what you have or what you, I can afford it, whatever. Like, not throwing anybody out there, but someone that we know is a very hyper specific human being. They're very, very, very specific about their everything. And so everything from their wardrobe has to be within the last like 12 months of designer XYZ. Their house has to be kept in a certain way. Their laundry has to be done in a certain way. Their lights have to be kept in a certain way, on, off, and whatever. They take care of their life in a way that just isn't practical from a financial standpoint, but it's the only way they know how to live. And that's okay, I guess, if you have that excess money. But couldn't you be putting that excess money to work for you? And that's what we're talking about.
Well, clearly something already works for them.
Well, yeah, in that particular case, but it's like, does it work for their future? And I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, like, if okay, throw some people under the bus. If you walk into my rental property for $2,700 a month and you have 5x credit and you have a Louis Vuitton bag and your kid has designer shoes, you're wearing a hat that costs $400 or $500 from some other designer plan, and you can't pay your bills. That's what we're talking about. The world that we've come to, the mac and cheese world that we live in, Hulu, Netflix, all this other shit, has led to I have to have the designer bag more than I have to have a house over my head.
That's facts.
But I mean, that's what we're talking about. If you want to become wealthy in real estate, you have to be prepared to give up some of those things in order to get where you need to go. It might not be invest in Airbnb. It might not be to build a multifamily property. It might just be to buy that first home. And if I can give everybody a bit of advice for the rest of my life, it'll always be the same thing. Buy the biggest piece of shit that you can afford the earliest you can possibly afford it. Even you.
I know, I'm working on it.
I'd make that argument that you should buy at 12% today.
I've been tempted.
I'm
not gonna lie. I think I'm going to when I pay off my car.
Love that. And you're close.
Because
you only owe like 4 or 5 grand?
For my car, it's like $3,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not that much money.
No, it's not that much.
Dang.
And I'm almost done paying my debt that my mother took on.
Okay.
Bless her soul.
Here you go.
To help my credit.
Hear it out now. Realtors, we got a viable buyer right over here. Lenders, for anybody that's listening, right?
Yes.
But that's coming. I mean, that's coming soon.
Yeah. So I'm going to free up that $700 payment and then my $350 for my car
And you
payment.
just turned 26.
Yep.
Bang. All right. So I'm going to make this real math, right? If I did what you're doing, if I bought in my 26th year okay, I would have had 3.5 years worth of growth and appreciation, which is roughly, let's just say 3% on average. So almost 10% of equity growth. What kind of a property are you going to be able to afford? 150, 200, 300?
150,
150, 200. All right, let's go off 200. Easy, right? 10% equity growth on a $200,000 property in 3.5 years. You would have 20% equity in the property that you created just by buying today. Before I bought, you'd have $20,000. And I didn't even have $20,000 to my name when I bought my property. You see what I mean? Like the logic of buying whatever you can afford. If I could have gone back and done it again, I would have bought the biggest piece of shit that I could have afforded at 18.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Biggest piece of shit at 18, you'll be rich forever. But if you stagnate yourself because of your need to have Louis Vuitton, Starbucks, mac and cheese.
There's water in here. I just want to let everybody know.
Water.
I don't really drink coffee. It's maybe twice a week.
I mean, I'm not knocking it.
No, I'm just letting people know.
And I'm not
My mom's always like, you don't really drink coffee anymore. I'm like, yeah, it's just, it's not just coffee because I don't really like black coffee. It needs sugar and cream.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the whole excise of the
How have the
coffee.
apples in the morning been working?
It's good.
Crush.
There have been we went to the
Apple orchard?
yes, we went to the orchard farm and also did pumpkin patch for our birthday.
Ooh.
So cute.
Yeah, we did it with the whole family.
So fun.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of apples. But yeah.
It definitely makes a difference. And I'm not chastising those of us that spend money on coffee. I mean, I drink coffee every day. That's got a cost. There's nothing wrong with it. All I'm saying is if we can get away from the mentality of having to go to dinner, having to go out here, having to go out there, it's like, why can't we just have people over? What if I spent $56 on having people over? How many people would I be able to feed for $56 at my own house?
A lot of people.
5, 6, 7?
Maybe 6.
If it's pasta,
Yeah,
bitch.
Yeah.
Line up.
I mean, we had my entire family over. We do Sunday night supper once a month or so. We had our entire family. It's probably 20 some people. And we did not spend $100. We used pasta that we had in the cabinet, chicken that we had in the freezer. We made a chicken Caesar salad, a little bit of pasta with cheese. We didn't even put meat in it. And then we bought 4 pizzas. And I think the whole thing cost us material cost $64. And then we fed everyone, the whole fucking family. And it's like people have this preconceived notion that you have to go out and spend money. It's like, guys, save your money, save your investment, and create an opportunity for yourself to live a better quality of life. If you're able to buy that $150,000 house in the next 4 years, you gain 10% equity. What if you flip and buy another house in 4 years? Then you have a rental property that you bought today and another property with equity, with cash flow. And that's what people are talking about today.
We're working on it.
No, I mean, I think everybody should be.
Yeah.
And the positive mindset to it is what's important.
100%. Mindset.
Mindset over matter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys know where to reach us. If you want to read more about our book reading and our podcast, a little bit of information at frankoliverco.com. Under additional resources, you can go down and read on the blog. You can also get all of our contact information on that website. You can always reach out to me there or on Instagram at michael.frank___. And these ladies are going to let you know how to reach out to them as well. YOLO.
Hey guys, you can reach me at on Instagram, Andrea_Soto.
It's Heather Kelley 230 spelled with an EY.
Bang. Yeah. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.